Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, our friends and our YouTube family, I take this opportunity to invite you back to Assar Johansson School, where we had highlighted before about the program that we were to initiate. With me here, I'm John Bosco and
I'm Pamela.
And we are
from Joint Hands Green Life Trees.
Yeah, so from Joint Hands Green Life Trees, we are bringing to you the updates on how much we were able to do about Assar Johansson School. We had told you before that we intend to plant trees, and not just to plant, but as well as to grow the trees, meaning that we plant and see that the trees finally grow from the little seedlings into a whole tree. So, welcome to our work here. So I'm grateful that Pamela had initiated a very beautiful idea. This was her idea, to have this banner. Perhaps the cameraman will have to move a little far away so that he's able to cover the whole banner. Yeah, I'm hoping that you can see the whole of it as it is. So the whole program, this is one thing that we had done before, but we decided to give it a greater significance. So we came up with this banner, and this is the all information about. You can move closer now and capture this. Joint Hands Green Life Trees. Now the whole idea is we are about trees, and we are driven by one fact that is driving us into school. Regreening program is our motto. Yes, Pam.
Which is our trees, our oxygen, our life.
Yeah, our trees, our oxygen, our life. It means that the whole significance of having trees is that it brings the necessary oxygen, and that oxygen is important to our lives.
Yeah.
And so all this is taking place at Assar Johansson School. As you can see, we have a very clearly defined vision. We want to use the power of education to raise environmental sustainability and awareness. So that is it. And Pam, our mission.
Our mission is to develop the next generation of environmental leaders to change the way schools respond to climate change and nature crisis. And as you can see from the photo here, is that this is one thing that we've always done before, but right now we are trying to scale up to do it a little more differently. Our contacts are right down here, and being that it is I'll give you our code. Our code is 254. Code Kenya is 254. So as you pick a contact, please do not forget to add our code plus 254 before you have the contact. And our website is jointhandsgroup.com, and all much required information is right available there. How much have we been able to do? Now this defines what we want to do right here at Assar. It is a whole idea that will take us quite some time. It will run for quite some time, because we will nurture all the trees and see that each and every tree ultimately becomes a tree that is beneficial to this school. And so it means the venture we are getting into is not a small venture. This is a journey that we are just starting now, but we have a long way to go. Exactly. So I've seen we've been joined by one of the teachers here. I think he can say hi.
Yes, Mwalimu, welcome.
Yes. Thank you so much. I'm Jeff Thomas.
Yes, you can look into the camera.
I'm a teacher here.
Yeah.
I'm so much impressed of what I've just found you doing and what you want to do in our school.
Thank you.
As a teacher of social studies, I value trees.
Thank you.
Because with the trees, then our resources will also be taken care of, because you know trees attract rains.
Yes.
And once rains are there, then there is food, and then there will be a lot of comfort.
Right.
Even students and pupils will get places where they can have their private studies under trees.
Yes.
Apart from that, it beautifies our environment.
Yeah.
That is very important. I will urge the organization to continue doing this and to make an Assar Johansson a better place to stay in.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. All this is coming to you courtesy of Joint Hands Green Life Trees. And we remind you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Joint Hands Green Life Trees. There's just a lot more that we'll be showing you on our channel. But for now, we are at Assar Johansson, and even the pupils, the students are giving us attention here. Perhaps the cameraman would turn it to the students so that we are able to see them.
Just wave, everyone wave.
Wonderful.
Say trees life.
Trees life.
Trees life.
Wonderful.
Tree is life.
Tree is life.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, so we also have one of our members.
We also have one of our members. I'll introduce him first. He's called, your name please?
I'm called Nelson Mandela.
Yeah, so Nelson Mandela is one of us, and he's one of the young people whom we have nurtured, because going through the formal forestry training usually is very hectic, is a little expensive, is not quite affordable. So Nelson Mandela is one of the young people whom we've taken through this training, and really resourceful in the work that we are doing. Throughout the time you've been seeing us, you've not met him because he's been the one in charge of our tree, one of our tree nurseries. And so today he's accompanying us to Assar Johansson to assist us in this work. He may have something to tell you.
Yes, you've been told everything, but now I urge all Kenyans to plant trees because trees is life. So welcome to Green Life, buy trees and build trees. Thank you.
Yeah, wonderful. So this is Assar Johansson, and the journey begins. We are looking around here. The many trees that you are able to see are trees that we have eucalyptus trees, and we have a few indigenous trees. Actually, I can only see about 3 indigenous trees.
There's macadamia.
There's Macamia lutea, and there's this that is called Terminalia brownie. Now, Terminalia brownie is an indigenous African tree, and as an indigenous African tree, it is quite environment friendly and it supports lots of diversity. So this is one tree that grew up successfully and wasn't destroyed. We are so happy for it. And as you can see, mostly vehicles parked down here. But today only a motorcycle is parked here because it is evening and most people are leaving this place of work. So we'll take a walk. We'll take a walk through the office corridor. We'll take a walk through the office corridors. As I go, I'll show you much more of the trees that are grown here. Yeah, so we are outside from the corridor and we are right into the school compound. Initially we were standing at the entrance, but right now we've crossed over, and this is the school central arena. Now in this central arena, you can see that it is a whole block of classrooms, running all the way through. We have so many classrooms in this school, and the school has a very heavy population. Now the population in this school is running into more than 1,000 students for this school. And there are trees that were planted here initially, and some of the trees were not put into consideration in terms of the environment. So take example of this tree here that is called Terminalia mentalis. Terminalia mentalis is a good shade tree, really beautiful, full of a canopy, but it has its pros and cons. Now the beauty about Terminalia mentalis is about the shade it gives, but the danger is that you can never place Terminalia mentalis next to a building. So the first mistake was done here by placing Terminalia mentalis next to a building. So as you can see, all the roots are running towards the building, and so as a result, these roots have already caused cracks on the veranda, as you can see. So this endangers the building, and not just the building alone. It also endangers the field, because children who wish to play around could easily knock their feet on the roots because it has very large and strong roots. as such, we are trying.
The roots are protruding.
Yeah, and the roots, as you can see, this particular root here is already protruding outside, and this could be so dangerous for the pupils that are playing around here. So we are going to, we have considered trees that are friendly to a school environment. Now, among the trees that we found good is this tree here is African tulip. African tulip tree, and it has very beautiful flowers and a very wonderful shade. And we tried to get trees that are a little larger. So as you can see, its height is almost more than half my height. So that means it is a tree that is just so good to grow, and we are looking forward to nurturing it till it becomes a tree. And we also have jacaranda. So jacaranda is a tree that also will grow fast and will provide the requisite shade, and will also be just so beautiful. It has beautiful flowers, purplish, and really so nice. And besides, we also have avocado. We also consider that fruits are very necessary for the school. So this is an avocado tree seedling. So healthy, so good to go, and we will have it planted somewhere around the school and make it just so beautiful. I'm requesting you to not to be behind the camera, please. And also we have indigenous African trees, like this particular tree here. I'll just recall its name shortly, but please just tell me.
Is it the Manirikara Butungi?
Yeah, no, there's Manirikara Butungi, but this one, I'll just recall its name just in a short while. I'll be telling you. And then we have this tree here is Syzygium. Syzygium, back here we call it Zambarau, and in my vernacular we call it Jamna. So it bears very beautiful fruits, very lovely. We call them actually, ordinarily we would call them purple plums. Yeah, so we would call them purple plums, and so beautiful. Not just that alone, we also have got guava tree. So this is a guava tree. This guava tree is, as you understand, guavas are fruits, and so we'll have a couple of them in the school to enhance availability of fruits in the school. Not just that, we also have this, even though it looks smaller, this is acacia, and acacia is a fast grower, is a shade tree. And one secret about it, Pam, maybe I request Mandela to be our camera person so that you help me to explain this.
Okay,
Thank you.
Acacia is one of the fast growing trees, and it has got a flat top, meaning it can provide a very nice shade and
A good canopy.
a very nice one.
And this supports diversity, so this will attract so many birds in the school.
Yeah.
Weaver birds love it just so much, so weaver birds will just have so many nests in this, and I believe weaver birds will make part of the education system even nicer.
Exactly.
Pupils will love it. And we also have got this here.
Your height.
Wow, so tall.
Yeah, this is Azadiracta indica.
Azadiracta indica.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Azadiracta indica is an indigenous tree to Africa, and it is medicinal.
Very medicinal.
Yeah, it is a herbal tree.
Yes, and
And
evergreen.
an evergreen, and it is a fast grower.
Yes.
Yeah, so we expect that this will make will really be nice and handy for the school. Yeah, so this here, Agrocopus.
Agrocopus is also a fast-growing tree, though its shade is not all that big, but it grows very fast.
Wow.
That's why we considered having it here.
Yeah, trees that will grow a little faster.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And I've just recalled that this tree has a common name. It is an indigenous African tree. It's called makaranga. Yeah. So
That's what we are forgetting.
yeah, we were forgetting. So this is makaranga.
And it has got very nice shade.
A very beautiful shade,
Yeah.
so dense and just so nice for a school. So we anticipate that this will also be quite handy We are not able to highlight all the trees that we brought across, but we will still be bringing more. This is just but a sample. Oh yeah, there's Bishop Wood. Yeah, so it is native to Australia, and is a good shade tree.
And fast growing.
Is also fast growing.
Yeah.
The canopy is just so dense.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So these are among the tree seedlings that we just brought over. Plus, we also have just a couple of Duranta seedlings that we will try to plant around to create a good shade. But there's a lot more that we've just been able to do. So I'll take you through what we were doing here. So, to have our seedlings growing rightly and to also have the line quite defined, we had to have a straight line, and the straight line was done using this string rope, as you can see. And so we have this point here marked for a tree, so we'll be digging a hole here, and this hole will help us to, this is where this exactly is where we'll be planting a tree. And our spacing was 6 meters long. So this was it. Yeah, so from where Mandela is holding it, it is up to here, 600 centimeters. 600 centimeters, yes, sorry, 600 centimeters, the equivalence of 600 centimeters, the equivalence of 6 meters is what we were doing for all the trees that we would want to plant in this line. So that is it. We've done it all the way.
Right, Chupa.
As you move around, you can be able to see the points that we have. And that is it. Pam, you can still come over. We did the line, and this line here is what we'll explain. I mean, we try to have the trees far outside the field. We try to have it far outside the field so that the activities of the field are not affected by the trees that we plant. And we also considered one thing, Pam, that I've not talked about, that during the outbreak of COVID-19, in this country schools had to be closed, because considering the state of our classrooms, they are so squeezed and sometimes the population is heavy. So social distancing was an impossibility. As such, schools had to be closed. But we are planting trees taking into account the same matter, that should a similar occurrence be there, we can have studies taking place under a tree, because we can have open air classrooms so that people are not in rooms that are enclosed. So our classes would be conducted under a tree, plus many other meetings that students would want to have, we would have them undertaken under shade trees. So it is what we did all across. It hasn't rained today, and yesterday it rained, but it was so light. That is why if we walk around the field, we'll take a walk across the field. Taking a walk across the field, as you can see, taking a walk across the field, as you can see, it rained, but it hasn't affected the classrooms, the school so much. So the pools of water that you are seeing around are not so many. The pools are just so few. And also what I wanted also to highlight here is that, as you can see the classrooms, there's just so much rainwater that comes down. This roof is just so big. And so when it rains, all that rainwater comes into this field. When the rainwater comes into this field, it creates the pools of water that you see. And ultimately, the field becomes just so flooded. It becomes just so flooded, and when the field becomes so flooded, pupils are not able to play around. Activities of the fields can't take place because the water that comes from the roof is just so much. My suggestion is that we can have gutters created along the entire block. When gutters are created, that whole water can be harvested and channeled, directed to some direction. When we give that water some direction, we will have removed it from affecting the field. We'll have placed it away, and so the field will remain safe. and also would help us to create the right drainage for this field so that those pools of water that we were seeing are not there anymore. Right now, as you can see again, is that the pupils or the students are able to play. The few students who are still in school, it is evening and many have already gone home, but we still have a few who are playing around. They're able to play, they're able to conduct all their business without the problem of the pools of water that we were suffering the other time. But just because it hasn't rained, if it rains today, the games you are seeing taking place at the background would not happen because it would be all floods. And sometimes it forces pupils to come in school in gumboots. Yeah, so the gumboots you are seeing here are as a result of the flooding, not because he lacks shoes. He has the official school shoes, but he's not able to come to school in the official shoes, sometimes considering the state of the school. And sometimes they also improvise shoes. So these are not official school shoes, as you can see, not because he's lacking shoes, but just because the state of the school cannot allow him to walk around in leather shoes. So that said, we want to move to the other end so that I show you. Yeah, I'm still trying. We are moving closer to the goalpost so that you're able to see the game that is ongoing. Students are playing soccer. Yeah, and the soccer game is just so interesting. Let me join a bit. Yeah, can you pass it over here? Wow. Wonderful. Yeah, right? Yes. Wow. I've had a jig of it. I've had a taste of it. Wonderful. I've played with them. So those soccer games are able to take place if the conducive environment is provided in the field. So the pools of water we were talking about would still gather here. Today it is all dry, but just because it didn't rain yesterday and it hasn't rained today, but if it happens to rain, then we would have a similar problem. This is the goalpost. Students are playing, albeit, but this is where the goalkeeper would be standing. And imagine this. By all indication, we have to tap all this water from this roof and have it channeled somewhere. But as long as we will leave this water to flow freely into the field, then we will have real problems. This problem may never be going away any soon. So we need to get it harvested, and we also need to come up with a water channel right in front of the classrooms. That water channel should help also to channel the water somewhere, and it would be just so good. It would just be so wonderful. So having said all that, we also have the head teacher next to us here, and we want to give him an opportunity to speak to us. Mr. Boke.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Welcome.
Let me take this opportunity to thank you and our Almighty God for this wonderful occasion. Today I'm very much happy because I can see some of the seedlings there. The preparation, the holes has been dug. So the preparation for greening our school is on. I would wish to encourage you to continue with the same spirit, and we'll give all the supports necessary. Taking care of these plants will do, and you can see even the learners, they even want to join you. If you see the other class, they are not even concentrating because they really in need of this. And they even told me, Mwalimu, when will be our seedlings brought? I told them anytime, and today when you brought them, you can imagine the way they surrounded the person who carried our seedlings. I'm very happy. And to add on top of what you said, this water coming from the roofs, if we can direct it, we can dig a channel also, I think it can control the water that gets into our field. Thank you so much.
And I would want to ask one more question. Where do you get your water from, the water that you use in school?
Okay, we have two sources of water. We have the county water that usually come occasionally, once in a week or twice in a week. But during rainy season, we use tapped water, but it is not enough. We have only one tank, which is being used by 1,200 learners, plus 42 supports, not 1,000. If we include the ECD, we have 1,340 learners using one tap. And two, we also have well-wisher, Bwana Tom Toro.
Yes.
He offered us water that is being used by the ECD section. Thank you that, and I take this opportunity to thank him so much. He's not even charging anything. That is just a support from him.
And how adequate is that water?
That water, it is the water that is using in his hotel, but with it, the flowing of that water is somehow steady, more steady than the one that we are using.
Okay.
Yeah.
And suppose this water from the roof was harvested and stored somewhere, would it be of help?
I think of a great help. What we are lacking, allow me to go to deviate a bit from what we were doing.
Yeah.
When you go to our latrines, constructing latrines here is very difficult because this is a waterlogged area, this is a swampy area. So if we can get that permanent source of water, we'll build the modern latrine and we'll not have the shortage of latrines whereby we keep on exhausting our latrines every now and then. And I want to tell you even now, if some of them, we have closed some of them, because even if we exhaust them, those places full of water. After a very short time, the water submerge and the learners cannot go. So this water, if it can be tapped, it will be of a great use to this school. And it will be a permanent solution of our latrines here. Yes.
Thank you so much, Mwalimu.
Thank you.
Yeah, you've heard it from our teacher.
And just a question, Mwalimu.
Yes.
We are now going to plant the trees around this school. How are you going to make sure that these trees are not destroyed, so that when we come back next time, maybe in a month or 2 months time, we get them there?
I think following the advice and the skills that I get from your team, this time it will be different. I'm going to assign individual learners per tree, or a group of learners, or 5. For them also to learn, they can go after gathering those skills, they can go and plant at home. So I cannot only encourage one to be equipped with skills. I'll group them in a group of 10. So that means if we have 100 trees, we'll be having 1,000 learners with the skill of planting trees. So we'll assign a group of learners per tree, not the whole school. And I think after doing it, you will see. I'll even come up with some present sweets. We can buy them. Motivation for those who will be taking care of their trees well. In fact, we'll encourage them, not buying them, but there will be sort of competition.
That's
wonderful. I think on the same note, in the same breath, we would also want to assure you that we will also motivate tree champions of this school. If we have those who will ensure that trees survive and ensure that trees do well and protect the trees and even add more trees on their own, we will treat such students or such staff as tree champions. And why won't we motivate them? We'll have some present, some reward to give, because to us trees are life. And in addition, I think even teachers will be involved. Even the teachers will be assigned. I will assign the teacher per group. Each and every group will be having a teacher assigned for them. Wonderful.
So everybody within the compound is going to be involved.
All right.
Because we have seen the danger that we are experiencing. But if we can control it by planting of the trees, I think every one of us will be involved. I'll even include the BOM, at least get me some for the BOM chair and the PA chair. And I'll name it, I'll give them the name of the BOM chair and the PA chair.
Wonderful. And I think even me and Pam will have our own specific trees in this school. And it will be specific to us. We will take
and even Mandela will be having one tree.
So right now Mandela was doing the holes, and I think do we still have any queries to the teacher?
I think no, not for now.
So are we doing the holes so that we can do the planting later?
Maybe we can end this video for now and then we plant next.
Okay. So since just before we end the video, Mandela was doing the holes, and we would want to.
We can do the video of planting the next.
Okay. I think That said, according to the advice I'm getting, our today's video is a little long, and so this brings us to the end of what we intended to show you. Preparation of holes is ongoing, so we will show you in our next video how the planting will be taking place and the measures we are putting in place to protect those trees. Otherwise, for now, we are just so grateful. Pam, I think I'll have to turn the camera.
Yes, Mandela, you
to us. Mandela, come over, please. And also, teacher, you can join us.
Teacher, you can join us.
Yeah,
Yes.
and so yeah, this is it. Mandela is also coming over. Yeah, so
we are going to do it.
Yeah.
And one tree will be given my name.
And you have to make it a real success.
Wonderful. Yeah, so thank you so much, our YouTube family. We are looking forward to catching up again in our next video. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
See you.
Okay. Wow.